The Girls Who Code book series is not contentious at all. It's written in collaboration with the Girls Who Code nonprofit organization, which aims to close the gender gap in technology jobs. There's just no debate, no need for close reading, no potentially alienating topics. These books are simply non-controversial. And yet, this Babysitter's Club meets AP Computer Science series written for middle school-aged girls has faced a ban in Pennsylvania and generated an intense backlash. There are 4 titles in the Girls Who Code book series: The Friendship Code, Team BFF, Race to the Finish, Lights, Music, Code, and Spotlight on Coding Club. It follows a group of girls who become best friends at their after-school coding club. Just look at the covers. You'll see girls with all different backgrounds who share, of course, a love of coding. They're endearing, they're engaging, they're utterly appropriate for 6th graders and up. They grapple with sisterhood, the power of kindness, the importance of learning, the acceptance of others. More than anything else, though, their message is one of empowerment for girls. Now, for its part, the Central York, Pennsylvania School District has called reports of the ban, quote, categorically false. The district says that the books were merely banned in classroom instruction for a short period of time. Girls Who Code, along with many other titles we've featured on the Velshi Banned Book Club, was included on a so-called comprehensive resource list that was given to teachers in the aftermath of George Floyd's murder in 2020. It was a list of things that you might want to use to teach your students. Later, the school board mandated the entire list was not permitted to be utilized in the classroom. Now, that order has since been revisited. It's been reversed, actually, because there were some stupid things that were on it. Girls Who Code may have not been individually targeted for a ban, but it was banned anyway. It may not have been held up in a school board meeting as some example of harmful books for students. Nonetheless, the series was swept up as an insidious casualty in a culture war that is damaging American children and American girls. And one person, if even one person wanted to and was unable to access Girls Who Code for any amount of time, the district has failed in its duty. The founder of Girls Who Code, Reshma Saujani, wrote different forewords that appear in the first few pages of all 4 books. At the start of the first book, she writes in part, quote, I always say, you can't be what you can't see, and that's true for books, too. We need to read stories about girls who look like us in order to be inspired to try something new. I'm thrilled to be joined by Reshma Saujani right now. As I mentioned, she's the CEO and the co-founder of Girls Who Code. She's the author of numerous books, including Pay Up, The Future of Women and Work. Reshma, thanks very much for being with us. We really appreciate having you here. And I have to say, I definitely wasn't expecting to speak to you as one of the people on the Velshi Banned Book Clubs, but that's the absurdity of it, right? It's crazy. Why were these books in any way thought to be a threat or a problem?
Well, book bans are about, preventing access of information to our children to have them learn about opportunities that they could have. And that is particularly true for girls. And I think in this case, Girls Who Code books are got swept up in this, nationwide agenda of groups like Moms for Liberty that are extremist and far right that are trying to control our girls and what they have access and information to. And look, Ali, they started coming for our bodies by controlling our reproductive rights, and now they're coming for our minds. And we got to wake up and we got to get engaged and we got to get involved, because if Girls Who Code books can get banned, any books that are promoting opportunity and education, giving girls access to economic independence, they're coming for those too.
Did anybody give anybody any reason about why Girls Who Code is a problem? Is there something in it that they didn't want girls to read?
Well, I think there was some discussion when the ban originally came about that, we don't want activist STEM books, but it wasn't just the Girls Who Code books that were on that list. They also banned about Grace Hopper, the Queen of Code. So it wasn't just a mistake. I think in many ways it was intentional, but they got caught. And I think the most insane thing about happened the past 2 weeks, which is, I think in many ways a mirror to what's happening in our country, is I watched a school district deny that they ever banned the book in the first place. Yes. And then have to retract it because parents and students and teachers fought back. And, they're denying history, which was the problem with book bans in the first place. They're trying to rewrite history. And secondly, I watched Moms for Liberty come out and call books on coding, our books, pornographic. And again, this is what is deeply problematic and why all of us, why at the Marshall Plan for Moms, we are actively involved in this fight, because we got to stop it and we got to stop it now.
The books, Girls Who Code, feature a diverse group of friends. The representation was as important to you as the idea that it's girls who should be involved in STEM.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, less than 18% of the technology workforce is female. And we know that these jobs, I'm the daughter of refugees. And we know that these jobs in coding, they're good paying. They enable you to like march up into the middle class. And in 2015, we were launching our Girls Who Code after school programs. And I was visiting communities all across the country, poor communities, economically disadvantaged communities. And what I heard from teachers and parents and students is, I don't have Wi-Fi, or it's spotty, or I have one device, at our school. Are there other ways that we can learn how to code? And that's why I wrote these books, to make sure that no girl is left behind. And I intentionally made sure that the characters were diverse, because like I said, you cannot be what you cannot see. And not only are less than 19% of women in technology, of those in technology female, but there's hardly any Black and brown technologists. And so now, almost, it's 8 years later from that, we have 10,000 Girls Who Code clubs. We've taught 500,000 girls to code, half of which are from underserved communities in our Black and brown. So we made our mission. And these books were a central part of how we teach. And so to me, to take that away, to take away those opportunities from girls so they could go find a cure to climate, COVID, and cancer, be our next president, be a technologist, a scientist, that is the point. That is what all of us want for all of our girls. And I think that's why, Ali, there's so much outrage by this book ban, because it is so deeply, fundamentally un-American.
So when I talk about book bans, when I talk to other audiences about it, and they, everybody asks, well, what do we do about it? How do you actually fix it? And I think actually civic involvement is the only answer, right? Start by going to school board meetings, go to your actual school meetings, the things that the PTO meetings that the PTA meetings that you don't think to go to. Or run for office, which, by the way, you did. You don't actually have to be a political ideologue to run for office. This is where it starts. This is where you actually save democracy, by showing up at the local level and trying to fix these things.
Absolutely. We got to support these teachers on the ground. I mean, at Central York District, it was these brave teachers and students that were, fighting for all of us, fighting for our democracy. And so you have this group of vocal parents on the right that are small, but they're intimidating and they're bullies. And so other parents kind of silently just don't do anything. And that's part of, again, what we need to do at the Marshall Plan for Moms. What we're doing at the Marshall Plan for Moms is creating the real parent agenda, which is fighting against bigotry. Fighting to protect public education, and also making sure that moms have the things they need, like paid leave, affordable childcare, pay equity, so they can join their school board. Right. They can get actively involved because they're not so exhausted. And so this, this movement that you've seen on the right to infiltrate our school boards, it's been very intentional. And school board elections are coming in 2023. And we as Democrats got to get real local, and we got to get real involved, because first it's book bans. But if you look at their agenda, they're coming for sex education. They are coming to make sure that our girls do not have access to education so that they can have control over their bodies. And that is coming at a period where we are in forced birth. We are forcing birth in a nation that doesn't have paid leave, that doesn't have affordable childcare. All these things are interconnected. They've thought through this agenda, and we are asleep at the wheel. And so we got to wake up and fight back.
I would just, everything you say is right. I just wouldn't have thought it would have been based around a few books called Girls Who Code. I wouldn't have thought that would have appeared on our radar. But in a way, I'm glad it did, because it allowed us to have this really important decision and welcome you as a member of the Velshi Band Book Club. So thanks for your time. Reshma Saujani is the founder and CEO of Girls Who Code.